Have you ever been in a furious quarrel? Words bursting inside you, yet something held you back? Imagine, if you will, that the silence you maintain has more force than anything you could say. Marcus Aurelius, among the greatest Stoic thinkers in history, believed that in some moments silence is the most potent response. Let's look at these situations whereby quiet is not just a display of wisdom, but also of true strength. Number 1. When you're criticized unfairly. Imagine yourself at work and your manager calls you in front of everyone for a mistake you did not make. Perfect? It is frustrating, exactly as frustrating. Your heart starts to race, and your first reaction could be straightforward corrections, defense, or even a lashing out. Given your innocence, why, after all, should you keep quiet? But let us stop just now. Imagine yourself choose to remain cool and collected. Instead of responding automatically, what if you held your words to yourself and let the situation pass? Ironically, Stoic knowledge finds use here exactly. Marcus Aurelius reasoned that silence would be our best response to severe criticism. The reason is that most of the time reacting in the heat of the moment causes regret. Speaking from a position of hurt or anger could lead us to say something that damages relationships or reputation. Silence instead suggests you think your actions will speak for themselves. It's a sign of inner strength and confidence, a belief that the truth will at last manifest itself, free from the need for shielding language. Think of it. People will usually remember your handling of criticism more than the criticism itself. You create a strong picture of someone in charge and not easily agitated by unfair treatment. If you respond gracefully and under control, that is a rather harsh remark on itself. Those that count will see your integrity over time. Those who unfairly criticize will lose their power. Therefore, the next time you come across harsh criticism, inhale deeply and choose quiet. Let your actions to be louder than words could possibly be. Number 2. When others boast. We have all had conversations where someone would not stop boasting. Whether it's a friend talking nonstop about their achievements, a coworker boasting their most recent promotion, or someone flaunting their worldly possessions, it can be taxing. To be very honest, it's easy to either match their boasting or downplay them a peg or match. Marcus Aurelius here offers a substitute nevertheless. He counsels you to be silent instead of engaging in this rhetorical fight. For what purpose? As real confidence cannot be shared. From a need for validation, from insecurity, the drive to boast often emerges. Choosing silence shows that you can feel good about yourself without depending on outward approval. Consider this: you remain silent while others braggle, and you are saying something without using words. You are teaching the world that you respect yourself not in terms of relative performance to others. You are content inside of yourself. And usually, this kind of quiet assurance is far more powerful than any language you could possibly employ. Think through the consequences for others close by. Others are frantically trying to prove themselves. You are just observing, sure of your moral values and own achievements. This calm is about learning you don't have to shout to be heard, not about weakness. People will see changes across time. Some individuals were showing off, but you were calmly focused on what actually counts. One cannot ignore that kind of quiet strength either. Number 3. When anger rises. Let us now consider a situation we all encounter. Anger. Imagine yourself in the middle of a violent argument, perhaps with a friend, relative, or even stranger. Your pulse is racing. All you want to do is let your anger spill from your head. Comebacks abound in your thoughts. It seems like the only way to win right then. Here, however, Stoic knowledge shows to be really beneficial. Marcus Aurelius understood that although a strong sensation, it is also a harmful one. Sometimes our angry speech causes us to say things we never mean, things that might hurt other people and damage our relationships. Silence could thus be your friend at times of anger. Think about this. Quiet in the face of anger gives you time to unwind. Breathe and clear your head. You are not repressing your emotions. You are rather mastering them. You are choosing to control the situation rather than letting it control you. Moreover, this silence is about facing the problem with wisdom instead of ignoring it. Your answers from a peaceful state have more weight. You can clearly and free from distortion of fury transmit your ideas. See how strong these may be in your contacts. Your silence gives you the advantage rather than worsening problems. It enables you to relieve challenging situations and respond deliberately and clearly. People will come to respect your ability to remain cool under pressure over time. Your silence will be more effective than any heated words ever could. So remember Marcus Aurelius's counsel the next time you start to get enraged? Keep calm, hang on to your words, and give yourself time to think carefully. That silence will help you to discover a strength not possible from any eruption. Number 4, amidst unfounded rumors. Estimates. They seem to be shadows following us even in circumstances where there is no truth behind them. Imagine you walk into a room and could hear whispers behind your back. Someone has spread a false story about you, and it is now under circulation. One finds a strong need to cleanse the record. You want to face every one of them, clear your name, and discover the truth. But here Marcus Aurelius offers a wonderful lesson about temperance. Suppose you chose silence instead of charging into the battle. Silence can be a strong reaction to rumors, even it sounds contradictory. The rationale is that because most of the time interacting with rumors produces more harm than good. The rumor comes alive the moment you start to counter every untruth. You say unwittingly, "This bothers me." And by doing this, you empower the very dishonest people. Marcus Aurelius understood that often rumors started from little, more than envy or meaningless conversation. They are whispers on the breeze. You give them power, and then they have power. Choosing silence helps you show that these rumors define nothing about you and are under your control. Think of silence as your vehicle of expression. I'm above this. This is a firm declaration that your reputation will be sufficient to withstand the storm. People who know you will see through the lies. Those who do not were not worth first of all convincing. The issue is, however, this silence does not point to inactivity. You still live with integrity behind the scenes, and let your actions speak for themselves. The truth shows itself naturally. Your silence becomes proof of your moral nature. Therefore, remember this Stoic advice the next time you are under target of unfounded rumors. Maintaining silence, keep your head high, and let your behavior speak for itself. Number 5, when facing loss. Among the most difficult experiences people go encounter is loss. Whether the loss is the death of a loved one, the end of a close relationship, or the elimination of a possibility you truly cherished. The sadness can be strong. People often find themselves driven to cover the void with words and moments, like these searching comfort, explanations, or reasons. But suppose stillness might offer a more strong kind of solace? Marcus Aurelius observed that in the face of loss, silence helps us to properly sit with our emotions. It offers a location where we could fully feel our suffering, instead of discounting it away. Imagine this. Lately you lost someone or something particularly close to you. People showing sympathy, advice, or attempts to steer you from your misery make the surroundings seem noisy. Still, among all this noise, what if you managed a quiet moment? What if you let yourself to simply be, to feel, to regret, to think? Silence amid loss is not about repression of emotions. It's about letting yourself the time and privacy to heal. Words these days could occasionally appear meaningless. They cannot totally express the depth of your feelings. Sometimes they even help you to separate from your suffering. Silence, on the other hand, asks you to accept your sorrow without trying to explain it straightforwardly. And this solitude is beautiful. It helps you to properly understand your loss. It clarifies how this loss will shape your life and how it will help you going forward. You can find acceptance in silence. Acceptance also promises healing. Though Marcus Aurelius understood loss was inevitable, our response to it is under our control. Deciding on silence honors your loss. You provide time so the emotions cool off and the scars begin to heal. Welcome the silence at those moments of severe grief. This calm place will guide you across the night. Number 6. When confronted with ignorance. Everyone has come across folks who lack information but nevertheless radiate confidence. Whether it's from a friend spewing misleading information, a colleague making bad decisions, or even a stranger debating without experience. Ignorance can aggravate any situation. Often the instinct is to argue, correct them, point them the flaws of their ways. Marcus Aurelius offers another opinion though. Ignorance can call for silence as a powerful reaction. Why is it? Since dealing with ignorance usually causes frustration for you and stubbornness in the other person. It is like trying to convince a wall to move. It is exhausting and at last fruitless. Marcus Aurelius realized that knowing when to save your energy comes before winning arguments. Silence in this context is more about choosing your battles deliberately than about disregarding the problem. It's about understanding that some people are not ready to accept the truth and that no amount of persuading will change their viewpoint. Imagine yourself in a chat and the other person is completely off target. You chose quiet instead of being caught in a pointless argument. You observe, pay attention, but you do not interact. This silence communicates a major point. It shows that you are not always in search of evidence. It shows that you also too much value your time and effort to waste on pointless debates. Actually, your silence often confronts the other person more successfully than words could ever do. It provides them somewhere to question their own beliefs. Sometimes the lack of a reply causes people to start to change their stance. Over time, people would come to respect your knowledge. They will see that you are not someone who gets caught into every argument, and that you chose your words and disputes consciously. And in that silence, you will find peace and control lacking from every dispute. Thus, remember Marcus Aurelius' suggestion the next time you come across stupidity. Silent, restrain your tongue, and let your wisdom speak for itself. Number 7. When rumors swirl. Rumors are transitory and powerful, just as storms are. Recall the principles Marcus Aurelius imparted when you find yourself at the middle of that storm. About rumors, he would advise that your silence is your power. If you are not involved, you let the storm pass on its own. People talk, but your silence shows that you have no control over what others say. Usually the truth surfaces on its own. Your cool head will be more remembered than any debate could have. Number 8. When confronted with. Justice is one of the hardest things one can silently handle. Every part of you could wish to speak out when you come upon something unacceptable. Though thoughtful behavior and instinctive reaction differ, Marcus Aurelius argued that rather than doing nothing, choosing the right moment to act characterizes silence in the face of injustice. Sometimes silence lets you gather your strength, plan a reaction more powerful than words could ever be. Silence can be a strategy, a technique of ensuring that, should you act, it is with intent and clarity. Number 9. When insulted. Someone calls you rude. The urge is to launch a verbal reply to preserve your honor. Using his Stoic insight, Marcus Aurelius would advise the reverse. An insult, he will tell you, reveals more on the person delivering it than on the one receiving it. Choosing silence lets you go past the offense. You show how helpless their words are over you, and how your self-worth has nothing bearing on what others think of you. Silence exposes a strength not there in any insult. In time, those who count will find the truth. Conclusion. Recall the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. The next time you come into one of these situations, not weakness, silence is power. to respect oneself, get above, keep your dignity, and find peace among conflict. Your most powerful weapon when used purposefully is quiet. Said otherwise. Thank you for watching. Until next time.